Today's review, we've got something a little special from Track. It's part of their Gold Top series. This is Solara Double IPA. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going Gold Top Dipper from Track Brewing in collaboration with Range Brewing. This is Solara. It is, as I said, Gold Top IPA, 8.4%, part of their 10-year anniversary stuff, the 10 orbits little thing there. And if you don't know about Gold Top, basically these are a little bit special, but really the Gold Top is that they've got lactose in them. So they've added lactose in it for a sort of smoother body and a slightly sweeter, creamier sort of flavour. This one has got roll call. There's a lot of hops in here. We've got Nelson Sauvin Bliss, Nelson Sauvin Cryo, Nelson Sauvin Amplifier, don't know that one, Nelson Sauvin Abstracts Bright, Citra Cryo, 702, 701 and Rawaka. I think 702 and 701 are parts of Citra, but I'm not sure. But there's a lot of hops in this. 8.4%. I've had a couple of Gold Tops. One I wasn't that keen on, but the other one was really great. So I'm hoping this one will be more like the latter. So let's crack it open, get it in a glass and see what it's all about. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of lactose in beers, but I do think Tracks sort of get away with it a lot of the time with these. And they seem to know what they're doing. They obviously don't do it in every beer, but you know, they do it in this Gold Top series. They're a little bit more expensive, a bit more exclusive. Obviously, lots of different hops go into this. So, yeah. Well, beer in a glass, quite a lot of carbonation there, racing up the glass. It's quite straw-coloured light. I wouldn't say it was quite the sort of custardy colour. It's a light straw colour, basically, but it's not quite that golden sort of very translucent. Yeah, translucent is the word. Translucent sort of colour. We've got a finger of quite loose bubbled head. Looks all right. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you put your nose to it, the first thing you smell is like this creaminess. So you're getting a lot of that creamy sort of aroma. And then there's a sort of lightness of citrus fruits. I would almost say that the creamy aroma is that creaminess, the lactose, I'm presuming, is the thing that you're getting most out of the aroma. The fruit is a little bit more subtle, but you're getting lots of light citrus. So let's taste it, shall we? Cheers, everyone. Oh, wow. That is... Oh, it's incredible. It's a... Oh, that's just really, really good. Blown away. I don't know where to start. So I'll start with the sort of, I suppose, the elephant in the room, or the, you know, the quirkiness about this beer, the lactose. As soon as you drink it, you've got this sort of almost creamy, milky flavour that comes through. But you'd think milk and beer is the two things that don't go together, but it just works really well. Flavour-wise, I mean, you're left with lots of citrus fruits, a little bit of tropical, but everything's sort of very smoothed out a little bit, you know, a little... It's not, you know, it's almost like the hoppiness has gone a little bit out of it. The body's there, it's nice and sort of smooth. I still think it's quite light, but at the same time, because of that lactose, it gives us creamier mouthfeel, as well as a creamier flavour, but a creamier mouthfeel as well. So it sort of, it works really well. It's just, you know, if you imagine this beer, you know, you've got lots of hops. You've got 8.4%. It's going to be big and hoppy. Lots of different hops. It's Track. They make great double IPAs. Then you just have this sort of creaminess to it. And it's almost like, you know, if you take like a bowl of peaches or a bowl of fruit salad, how do you make it better? Well, you put cream on it, don't you? That's the best way of doing it. And that's what you get. It doesn't ruin the sort of bright fruit flavours. it dulls them a little bit. It gives a little bit, it takes all the edge off that sort of what can be over hoppiness or over sort of ripened fruit flavors into just a very drinkable beer. And it is dangerously drinkable, really, for 8.4%. You're getting now, as it's warmed up a little bit in the glass, you get a hint of grapefruit coming through. I mean, with all that Nelson stuff, it's still quite subtle. Yes, the grape is in there in the background. Yes, there's sort of those sort of crunchy, orchardy fruits like apples and pears and stuff like that. Melons coming through, kiwi fruits coming through. But it's very, very subtle, but in a very good way. You know, it's not like in your face. It's just a really pleasant, which seems a bit of a naff word, and it is a naff word, but just a really, I can't think of the words to use, really. I just want to sit and drink and enjoy it. The flavours are developing now. There's more of that melon. There's more grape coming through. That Nelson is starting to fight through that creaminess that you're getting a lot of that. The first flavour is that creaminess. But now it's sort of sitting and it's coated the palate a good few times. The rest of the beer is coming to the forefront. And I think it's a brilliant beer. It's one of those beers that shouldn't really work, but the lactose just it improves this beer by 100%. You know, it's that good. It is that effect of that lactose. It creates a sort of how can I describe it? It basically it covers the if you imagine it like fruit and cream, basically it covers over those sort of the sort of slightly sharp, the slightly dank parts of the fruit, and just sort of merges into it and makes it a little bit creamier and a little bit more palatable, I think. So that smooths off the 8.4%. The whole beer glides down, so it smooths that mouthfeel. But it also smooths the flavour. Now, there'll be some purists out there who go, "Oh, I want my beers double IPAs, hoppy. I want a challenge with my beer. I want a sharp bitterness on the back end." You're not really getting that, because I think the lactose sort of quells it. Quells. It's not even a word. Where come these words from? It's like every mouthful, you're getting this milky flavour coming through. But just when you think, "Oh, is that too much?" Then the rest of the hoppiness and those fruits sort of come through as well. So it's almost like a blanket of lactose across the sort of fruit flavours. And then that sort of blanket sort of eases off, and then the fruits rise up a little bit, but you've still got the creaminess around the background. It's a bit of a weird one to describe. I don't think I'm making a very good job of describing it. But what you need to know is this is a great beer. If you see Gold Top double IPAs and you read the blurb and you think, "Oh, lactose, I'm not sure about lactose in beer," I would recommend this one, because I think that, you can get some cheap beer which got lactose, the old milkshake IPAs, which I suppose this is a milkshake double IPA. But Track know what they're doing with these gold labels, and they are something a little bit special. The hops work really well. There's loads of them, probably too many that you need, really. But the whole package is just really good. And if you're ever worried about a double IPA and thinking it's going to be too strong and there's going to be harshness about it, then try something like this, because that creaminess sort of makes any sort of strength or bitterness or harshness or dryness it just melts away, really. And what you're left with is a fruity, hoppy, creamy beer, which works really well. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Solara. This is a Gold Top double IPA, 8.4%. Loads of Citra hops, loads of Nelson Sauvin hops, loads of varieties. I don't know what Nelson Sauvin Amplifier is. Amplifier? Yeah, Amplifier. Or Nelson Sauvin Abstracts Brighties. I'm not quite sure. There is Nelson in it, but there's there's so much going on with the Nelson that, you know, you're getting those sort of Nelson qualities, but I don't know what else you can really bring to it. It's not as if it's a shy sort of hop. It's very distinct and strong in its flavour. And obviously all the citrus stuff, the cryo, the whatever 702 and 701 are, I'm not quite sure what they actually bring to it. But as a package with the lactose, it's a lovely beer. So let's go for the scores, starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money, this was quite expensive. This was over £7, about I think £7.50 this was. And finally, my overall experience. Yeah, tying the scores up, it's a great beer. It's a highly recommended beer. Total score, 83 out of 100. It's a great beer to start 2025 with. I mean, I always think at this time of the year in January, you know, obviously there'd be some people doing dry January, and I'm almost going the opposite way by having a double IPA. And there'll be obviously people looking forward to the latest version of Putty from Verdant, but that is an overhyped beer. This, I mean, it's Gold Top. It's a little overhyped, I suppose, because it's something a little bit special. They don't make them all the time. But this is as good, for me, this is as good as I can remember Putty being in 2024. We'll see how Putty is in 2025. Hopefully we'll get hold of it, and we won't be paying too stupid amounts of money. But this is an incredible beer. Track make great double IPAs. I think that's definitely their sweet spot, and the Gold Tops, I think, of the last two ones have been really good. And I will sort of sit every time they release a Gold Top, I'll be going, yeah, I'm gonna have to buy one of them, because I just think they're really good. They work really well when they shouldn't. Adding lactose to beer usually is wrong, but Track know what they're doing when they make these Gold Tops. So let me know, what do you think of Gold Top beers? What do you think of lactose in beers? Double IPAs, they're the future. They're the present, the past, and the future, in my opinion. I can't see me getting to a point where I don't like them, because I just think so much flavour, and if you brew it well, you don't feel that 8.8% or 8.4% anywhere. So they're a credible type of beer, really, and you know, they're definitely my favourite at the moment. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments what you've been drinking and what you're doing for January. And until the next one, you know what you do. Drink good craft beer, and of course, keep on rocking.